Good morning. In Spike Lee's 1989 movie Do the Right Thing, neighborhood wisdom peddler the mayor gives young upstart Mookie some salient advice. Always do the right thing, doctor. So like the mayor, I say to you, my beloved students, in business, always do the right thing. Today we'll discuss three key areas of business. That's business ethics, foundational knowledge, recent trends, and leadership recommendations. As always, ladies and gents, we begin at the foundation. Business ethics begins with societal ideas like theology and philosophy. These ideas were then applied to business management. Institutional effects such as education and religious leanings on morality then gave rise to a new philosophy, public moral normativity, or PMN. PMN in business, and society for that matter, seeks to answer what ought to be the case. What are morally good people expected to do? And how do leaders and associates encourage these proper activities in the workplace? Before associates can be motivated toward proper behavior in an enterprise, gaps in PMN must be explored. This requires an evaluative component including fundamentals of fairness, normative ethical reflection, and organizations and societal norms. Which brings us to a more modern adaptation of PMN, corporate social responsibility, or CSR. CSR builds an enterprise by fostering both associate and consumer trust. It utilizes environmental, community involvement, and ethical marketing to enhance one's quality of life. Now let's turn our focus to even more recent ethical considerations: marketing, social media, and the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020. Modern trends in ethical marketing promote no false advertising, placing an increased value on the client as a person. Advertising incorporates even more diversity now, and social media marketing utilizes privacy governance. In social media, businesses adhere to higher ethical standards by allowing for international privacy rights, peace of mind, and liberty. So associates and consumers now must adhere to legal guidelines such as intrusion, or being mindful of any encroachment on a person's liberty. Privacy facts, which means not making public information that is private. False light, or making public information that is false or highly offensive. And then finally, appropriation, which is stealing another person's identity. Lastly, any current discussion on business behaviors, particularly ethical behavior, must include the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. When looking at medical records in Great Britain, researchers found that 35% of Black, Asian, and Middle Eastern, this is called BAME, British citizens were CV-19 positive. This was notable because BAME citizens only make up 15% of the British population. Causes postulated include increased susceptibility due to the BAME population's tendency to be in more densely populated areas. 79.1% of whites live in this area, while 98.1% and 97.4% of Blacks and Asians live in these areas respectively. One solution is to have more diversity-conscious medical guidance by avoiding racial biases. Leaders must use foundational, public, social normative, and current social media privacy ethical research. Leaders in the finance specialization must look to sustainability in your supply chain efforts and monitor how this positivity affects your bottom line. Look to finance local charities and urban development toward fostering thought leadership, innovation, and collaborative economics. And finally, please be very cognizant of new normals and innovations arising from all concerns negotiating the global COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for your rapt attention. What questions do you have for me?